So the Talking Tarkov podcast just got over. It was all streamed on Twitch and I recorded it all. If you want to see the entire stream, there's a link down in the description to another video on my channel. It's the full stream. It's all 2.5 hours of it. All 4 of them talking about the game. All this information I'm about to read to you is stuff I've written down that I thought was the most important from that stream. If you want to watch the entire stream, go ahead and watch it. It's in the full quality, all HD, the best quality it could possibly be on YouTube. Anyways, we're going to start talking about what they talked about in a condensed manner. The first thing I thought was interesting was the fact that they talked a little bit about the Lighthouse. We haven't heard much about this map. I don't know really anything about it besides I think it's at the lower end of part of the map. Not exactly sure, but it's the scav boss on the map. So apparently the scav boss is going to be a sniper, a really good sniper. So what the sniper is going to do is try to shoot out your legs and arms and try to inflict maximum amount of damage and pain onto your character before he ends up killing you. So I think that's a little bit I think it's a little bit strange but kind of cool at the same time. That's all we know about the map. That's all I know about the map. At least maybe there's a little bit more that they showed us a couple months ago. I don't really know. Next thing was hotfixes about freezing. So Pastili really expressed his frustration with the freezing, especially in the past couple days. And 42, which is the USEC 3, he was also on the stream. He said that he didn't have any of these issues, and according to Nikita and all their data that they collect on their data servers, freezing is at a decent place right now. It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's also not where it should be. And I think all that is to the frustration of Pastili. He says he's having terrible freezes, and I'm not sure if that got across to Nikita. Hopefully they get that issue fixed. Now, my favorite part of the stream was when they were talking about the new map. I'm super excited for this new map. Most of the stuff that we're talking about is coming in 0.12, not the sniper scav, though. I'll make sure I let you know if it's not coming in 0.12. But this new map looks really, really exciting. There's going to be its own boss. There's going to be its own kind of custom extractions. There's going to be mountable machine guns that you're eventually, not in 0.12 apparently, you're eventually going to be able to carry them out of the raid, sell them, extract the ammo. I think you should be able to extract the ammo in 0.12, but they will be mountable nonetheless. So here's the 4 of them. We've got the 50 cal machine gun, the grenade launcher, automatic grenade launcher, mind you, 18mm mortar, and a stationary rocket RPG. That's crazy. So I'm wondering if since they're adding the stationary rocket onto this map, if we'll be able to finally get the RPG. If you don't remember, there was already grenade launchers in this game a long time ago, way a long time ago. And I'm also not sure if that 50 cal is going to be BMG or not. So a little bit about the scav boss that's going to be on this map. We didn't see any pictures or anything. But apparently him and his thugs, or whatever you want to call them, his military soldiers, I'm not exactly sure what they are. They're just his comrades, his allies. They're going to be hiding inside of a building with him. Not really hiding, but they're going to be inside the building. They're going to be able to be on the roof and shoot the machine guns and the rocket launcher and the mortars down onto the players. So it's going to be kind of a breach and clear situation. And I just want to let you know I'm super excited for this map. This map just seems like everything I love about Tarkov, and it really reminds me of DayZ. This map's going to be really close to customs. You see, most of the screenshots in here are from this map. It looks like it's a work in progress, but I can't wait to play it. It's too bad that it's probably a couple of months away. So it's actually right up the road to customs. There's a key in the game called Road to Military Checkpoint, I think. For when they finally make the entire map come together, you'll be able to see that it's just right up the road from customs. And actually, there's a screenshot in the list of screenshots that you can actually see customs down the road, which I thought was super awesome. But that's kind of how the maps work. So I am right now, just as I'm recording this video, looking on the Reddit, and it looks like someone on the post that I made in order to remind everyone that the stream was happening made a couple quick points, so I'm going to go over these. Number one is that Nikita admits that a market bot existed or exists, and they're banning people off the flea market. So apparently there's botting on the flea market. I'm not exactly how that works. I would assume it's that they buy things for low and sell them for high automatically. I have no idea. And a little bit more on the cheaters. Cheaters are just rampant in Tarkov right now. I've seen a couple today. It's just crazy. And Nikita said that the report cheaters topic on Reddit is to calm the player base and to letting them know that cheaters are being banned. Apparently, according to Nikita, hundreds a day. They said that I think they banned 150 today. They are IP banning. They are what do you call it? Machine banning. Hardware banning, that's what you call it. They're hardware banning players. The myth that they weren't doing that, well, they weren't doing that until a couple of days ago, according to Nikita. They also talked about a new, I don't know if it's an assault, yeah, apparently it's an assault rifle. It's a 50 cal assault rifle. I'm not sure if I talked about this yet, but it's the 20 pen 100 damage machine gun, and Nikita said it's going to be just kind of one of those fun weapons that isn't used very often, but when it is, it's kind of special. So imagine 100 damage, 20 pen. If you hit someone in the armor, I would assume it's going to do a lot of blunt damage, but it won't do any penetration or body damage to the player. But if you hit them even in the arm or the leg, it's probably going to one-tap them. According to him, it's going to be the one-tapper, which I think is kind of funny and cool. So another really cool part of this stream is that they talked a lot about missions and how the missions can be built better to become less of a grind and more of just a, not necessarily take away from the hardcore experience, because they said, Pastilli said, and I love this, that there's a difference between a hardcore experience and a grinding experience. I think that's 100% true. Grinding until you're legit, your face falls off, that's not hardcore. It's a grinding experience. It's the grinding experience. This isn't a grind game. This is a hardcore game, and that there should be a balance. And Nikita wrote all these things down. Nikita is a great guy. I just got to see that. He wrote down all the feedback he got from the streamers that were on this stream, and that's just awesome. What it doesn't get much better than that. You don't get developers much better than that. So he talked about how he's going to change the missions in the future. I'm not going to go over everything, but it's all for your benefit as the player. So something that he was talking about during the stream was that there was a specific book. I think I've seen this book before, but apparently people are like going on 300 or 400 raids to marked circles, and that's what Pastilli said. And Nikita said you have the option to change the future right now. It was pretty cool, but apparently Nikita changed the spawn rate of this book to 8% on this one specific scav that wears a mask. I think it's the skull mask. That scav is going to now have an 8 to 10% chance to spawn the book, and he did that on stream. And I'm not sure if Pastilli picked up on that, but I thought that was just really crazy that he could just change that part of the game on the fly. That was crazy. Something else that they mentioned that I thought was kind of cool was the fact that you're going to be able in the future to pay the traders to train your character in certain skills. So let's say strength. You can pay someone a certain amount of money and it'll increase your strength. And I'm not sure if this is going to be able to be metaed or if there's going to be a limit, but that's really cool. The Scar should be in 0.12 or the patch after next after 0.12, there's going to be a new raid series. I don't know if you watched the series or the first episode on YouTube. It's a really cool kind of live action Tarkov that is being built by the developers. 45 ACP will be in the game. The Chris Vector and the 1911 are the only two guns I think that we know for sure will be in the game. There will be according to Nikita, there will be a DLC after release that he called Scav Life. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I think it's kind of, you have your player, right? You have your inventory. I'm pretty sure you're going to have your Scav with all his separate skills and abilities and his own inventory. I think that's kind of cool, but the talk of DLC really makes me nervous. I think I'm going to make a whole nother video on that, but they talked a little bit about it. Again, there are so many things in this stream that I thought was really, really, really cool, and this is one of them. Apparently, there's going to be an event where raiders come to one specific players, which Nikita says to hunt down a player with bad karma. I'm not exactly sure what he means by karma. I'm not sure if it they talked about karma in the past, and I think it's in the future they were talking about where. Let's say this patch you decided you wanted to be USEC and you killed too many USEC. I'm pretty sure that that's what they mean by karma. They said that if you kill too many of your own kind, that you will get bad karma. And so I'm assuming that if you kill too many of your own PMC, you'll have a scav come hunt you on the map, I guess. I'm not really sure. He didn't say much about that at all. But I thought that was still really cool that a scav is going to be able to spawn in just to hunt you. That's really cool. I also said there's a high chance that you're going to be able to merge your medicine in 0.12. So if you have a IFAK, which max durability or max health is going to be 300, you have two that are like 100, you'll be able to combine them and make 200, or you can combine two of them and make a full IFAK. I think that's really cool. It's a great idea. You won't be able to have to sell 3 50 health medkits. You'll be able to just combine them and make a whole new one, or a brand new one, whatever you want to call it. We also learned a little bit more about the average scavs that we've been fighting on Factory and Labs and Interchange and all the maps, just the regular scav. Maybe not Labs, I didn't mean to say that. Apparently, when the scavs are spawned, they spawn in with a certain difficulty set to them, and this affects their reaction time, their speed, whatnot. And basically, their overall effectiveness and where they shoot you and how they shoot you. Earlier in the raid, there's level 1 scavs. Between the middle and end of the raid, there's level 2 to 3. And 3, I think, is really hard, and 1 is probably really easy. So we've all been wondering about leg armor for a while, and basically what Nikita said was leg armor, why? And I thought that was kind of strange because they've talked about leg armor in the past, if I remember right. Everyone in the community kind of seems to know about leg armor and that it was a possibility for the future. And I think we've even seen like art for it, but apparently Nikita doesn't really see a reason for leg armor, especially now that they're trying to fix scav leg meta. They're looking into it, so I guess maybe that's a no for leg armor. I feel like everyone kind of thought leg armor was coming, which is, I don't know. I kind of don't really care that much. I really, actually, it doesn't even seem realistic. No military in the world uses leg armor. Maybe some special SWAT team, but I don't know of any military that uses leg armor in the world. Also, the med kit that is going to be able to repair your blackened limbs, which, if you don't know what a blackened limb is, it essentially disables that limb completely. You can still walk. You can still, I mean, you can barely walk. Unless you have painkillers, you'll be moving at a snail's pace. And overall, having a blackened limb is just annoying. You won't be able to run without receiving damage or anything like that. But they're finally going to be adding the field repair kit or field medic kit, Turner kit. I don't know what you really want to call it, but you're going to be able to essentially repair your limbs. And I'm not sure if this thing is going to have infinite health, like you can use it infinite amount of times. It looks like you're trying to pull a bullet out of yourself. It looks like you're going to be able to use it a lot of times, but it's not going to it's going to have a couple side effects. So let's say you pull a bullet out of your 80 hit point chest, right? Well, it's not going to be exactly hit 80 hit points anymore. It'll be like 70 or 60 or 50 or 40, whatever the devs decide for it to be, because it would just be stupid if you could pull bullets out of your chest all day and have it the same amount of health. It's not going to be the same amount of health as it is before, but in my opinion, anything's better than a blackened limb, especially when it's your legs or arms. Also, as you're seeing on the screen right now, there's going to be an M9 and a few different weapons coming to the game, the P90, and I think these are all coming at point 12. Apparently, that pistol, this P90, and the 50 cal machine gun, I guess it is a 50 cal machine gun, is all ready for point 12, and they're just waiting for that big update to release it. The reason why they can't release these things on the game right now is because they are built on top of other scripts and functionality that only their new version of the engine has, and they're built on top of new systems that they've been developing for a while. So they can't port all these nice, good features into the game right now that we would already want. You can also see just a brief little tail end of the tourniquet right there. There's the mortar that they were talking about earlier. Looks like they're in the process of adding an animation. This is going to be a while. They said that it's not going to be months, but it's going to be a few months, and starting, I think, next week, we're going to be able to learn more information. They're going to have a Russian podcast on it. We'll get a lot more information then. You bet I'll be making a video on it. It'll be a few months before this patch hits. He doesn't have an exact date, but he said that he'll probably get a good estimate of when this patch could come out within a month from now. So that's awesome. This update just seems so huge and a big game changer for this game. I thought the last update or the medicine update or the mag packing update, you think those were big? This apparently is going to be just... So I think we've gone pretty much over the main part of the stream, give or take a few things. I probably missed a couple things, maybe even a few important things. I highly recommend watching the whole 2.5 hour stream. I got everything that I wrote down, which I thought was really cool. I don't know if I mentioned anything about the UN AI security, but it's a new AI coming to the game. There's also the cultists. They talk a little bit about that. I think he said something about the cultists being able to walk around at night and be really sneaky and try to melee you. I don't exactly remember. There's also a lot of new attachments and everything. We got all the important stuff down, so now I'm going to let you know what I think about this patch. Personally, I'm really excited. I'm not sure if I'm even ready for it yet. I'm just starting to now get into this patch. I'm level 30. I'm working on a couple missions, slow down on the missions, more into PvP, doing a lot of labs raids, getting good at the game again, and getting some YouTube content out on it. So, and I think this was overall probably one of the best Tarkov podcasts I've ever watched. It wasn't 100% effectively, I guess you could say, executed. They had a couple issues with the audio in the beginning. It was really slow picking it up. Someone on the Reddit said that FairTX was being a little bit over talkative or interrupting a lot, and I think he did just fine. What he was trying to do was push the stream forward and get it out of its little slow... I don't know. It was just really slow in the beginning, and he tried to get it to move on, and I think in the end it worked out perfectly fine. We got a lot of new information. We were supposed to get even more information, but they said they had a malfunction in the studio with some of the animations and videos that they were working on. We also got a couple pictures of the hideout, I think, right? I'm not exactly sure. Just a lot of new weapons. 3.338 Lapua, I think that's how you say that. Rifles are coming into the game. This is a revolver, as you're seeing. Just so many cool things, and I think this patch is going to really change the game. In the past year, actually, the game has changed drastically. If I would have gone back a year and looked at how the game is now, I would have said add maybe like 2 or 3 more maps, add the hideout, and the game would be done. But no, it looks like these developers are in it for the long run, and we're only halfway there. A lot of future content planned, DLC planned. He talked a little bit about the snow or how the weather is going to affect you, and apparently that's going to be a part of a DLC. I assume it's going to be like a winter DLC or something. Well, let's talk about a little bit about DLC right now. I don't really want it. I hope that they can somehow figure out a middle ground in order to get players on these new maps, and so we can effectively have the entire player base play these new DLC with us, but maybe leave them out on a couple of features. Like, I don't want to say new guns, because how do you take guns away from players? When you take maps away from players, though, it really lowers the amount of players that are going to be able to play that map. Most people won't pay for DLC, or a lot of people won't. The dedicated players will, but not the average standard player. If you had to ask me what I think about this patch all in all, I think it's going to be a great patch. It's going to be a really big patch. Nikita said it's going to bring players back into the game, and I cannot express my excitement for it. This looks like it's going to make this game at least somewhat part of the game that we've been wanting this whole time. And again, they're just only halfway there. There's this whole laundry list of things that they're going to be adding to the game, and I really hope that this game continues to march forward in the next 5 years. I know that I hope we haven't even hit the peak yet. It looks like back in 2018, I was looking at Google Trends earlier. That was the peak of Tarkov, but I don't think so. If they keep on adding new exciting features and keep on getting streamers on the bandwagon, I mean, you bet when this update comes out, Shroud's gonna come back and play it. Maybe even Dr. Disrespect will try to play it. I'm not sure if he's tried playing it yet already. People are going to love it. I'm going to love it. I've been playing this game ever since it came out. I never expected it to be this big. I never expected the big streamers. I always thought that those type of people just weren't built for these games, and I guess this game's kind of, I want it to be an everyone game. I know it's hard and not everyone's going to play all the way through it, but I want everyone to experience this game, and it looks like it's going in a great direction, and I just cannot express my excitement for this new map. This new map looks amazing. The way they're talking about how the scav's going to work, that sounds amazing. They're adding a new gameplay experiences now with every map. After Shoreline came out, I didn't think that the maps were going to change the fundamental way you play the game, but then Labs came out, and I just thought that might have been, the strange map out, the map that just has that different gameplay type, you know what I'm saying? Like the extractions, the scav raiders, but apparently every single map that comes out after this, it's going to be special. It's not going to be like the other ones, and that's just awesome. And I can't wait for the scav boss to come out on Woods. I hope that's with point 12, because Woods is kind of my favorite map. Well, Labs is my favorite map. Factory close second, and Woods is definitely one of my favorite larger maps. I don't know why it used to have a flow to it when people still played it. Now it's unfortunately kind of a dead map, and I can see why. There's not a whole huge reason to go there. Factory's really small. You can get into combat easily. Every other map has an attraction. Even kind of Shoreline still has an attraction with those lootable spots, but Woods doesn't really have an attraction except for missions, which is really unfortunate. Hopefully the new scav boss in that map brings players back to that map. So I think I said everything that needs to be said about this upcoming patch and future patches. The future's bright for Tarkov. It's going to be a great future, and I'm super glad that the devs are doing these podcasts, and I hope they do more of them, and because he really absorbed the feedback he got, and you could see it. He changed part of the game while he was in the podcast. That's awesome. So what I would be doing right now is just taking Tarkov in for what it is right now, because I kind of miss the old Tarkov. I don't miss it in terms of like the actual gameplay, but it felt different. That was a different game back then, and now the game's so different. It's more complicated, and that's not a bad thing. I love it. I would take this Tarkov over the old Tarkov any day, but Tarkov's going to change. Just take it all in as it is right now, because maybe you won't like the future changes. I know that I'm going to like them. I just know it. He said then the next year or two, the game's it's going to be a completely different game. And I could say that for Tarkov like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago whenever I bought it. I'm going to miss that game, but I love what we have now, and I'm super excited for what the future has to bring. Take it in for what it is right now, because it will be a different game. And it's already so good. It's got its issues, but it's already so good. I don't know what could possibly make it better besides for this. They're just every time they talk about adding something to this game, it just seems perfect. It fits right into the gameplay and how the game works, and I'm just so excited. I'm really glad that the entire development studio moved past the negativity that was with this game for a while, a couple of months ago, and it seems like everyone's on the right track. The studio's on the right track. The game's on the right track. This game can only go up. I've never seen a early access game like this, and I could see the future potential of this game. I kind of felt that about DayZ, but then it dropped off, and I don't know if there's a future with that game. We'll see. So I think I got some of the most important topics from the stream, from game performance all the way to future updates and everything in between. I couldn't get anything. Again, there's a link down in the description for the full 2.5 hour stream. Just know that there's going to be other videos on this, and anything that I might have missed will be in those videos. This is just kind of like a first response to this stream. And yeah, they're just super exciting. Everything that they listed, super exciting, and I got it all in this video. Super happy about it. Just looking forward to the future. Anyways, that's everything, guys. There's more pictures here. I'm sure they're gonna have them on their Twitter or their own YouTube channel. Maybe, I don't really know if that's what they're gonna do. But if not, all the pictures are here. And one last thing before I end the video, please leave a comment. My favorite thing to do as a YouTuber is read the comments. It's my favorite thing to do. Not all my videos get comments, but when they do, I love reading them. I love replying to them. I love seeing all the comments in the description. I just love it, especially when people have discussion in the comments. That's my favorite thing. So do yourself a favor, or do me a favor rather, and leave a comment. I would love to read it, and I'd love to respond to you. Any questions or concerns or anything about this game, I'd be happy to talk about. Just leave a comment down below. But that's everything for today. Good job to all the streamers who were on that stream. Good job to I always forget his name because it's a weird name. FairTX. Good job to him for setting up the stream. That was an amazing intro. I think he did the intro. It looked like his kind of style. It was a great stream. Good job, everyone. And that's all I have to say for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope this helped some of you figure out what's just kind of like an outline of what we are going to expect in the future of Tarkov. Have a good day, everyone, or good night.